The scariest cave in Equestria, and it's not in the Everfree Forest? How bad could it be? I've seen worse. Oh, please, Rarity was scarier in Over a Barrel. Pinkie Pie and Applejack. January sure seems like a big month for these two. We've got the first issue of the Friends Forever series starring them in a baking contest, and here we have them wondering whether or not they're related. We start off with Twilight going through scrolls. I'm sure she's studying up on equestrian law, or treaties, or some other topic that will serve her new role as princess.
Just some genealogical research.
Why won't you let me dream? And there's Pinkie, doing what she does best, startling and confusing every pony.
Yourself! But that doesn't answer my question, silly.
I kid. Pinkie is extroversion condensed into a cute pony. It doesn't matter what's going on. She wants to be a part of it without any judgment or hesitation. So when Spike explains the meaning behind genealogy, Pinkie immediately sets to it with an unexpected result.
Hey, cousin!
I love the look on Applejack. It's like she's suddenly reevaluating her gene pool. So yeah, Pinkie may be related to the Apple family. The Apples certainly seem excited.
I have another sister! I have another sister!
The 2014 new sister model takes everything great about the previous version and amps it up to 11. Enjoy the old model's prehensile tail? The 2014 edition comes with dual-use main, convenient storage, and a drill attachment. Emotional reactions too subtle? The 2014 sister dials the drama up to unbelievable levels. It also features physics-breaking powers and instant compatibility with any personality. Available at your nearest plot point store. Model may become unhinged at a moment's notice. At first, I wasn't sure why this was a big deal since Pinkie and the others are already considered honorary family members. Then I remembered Pinkie's desire to be part of anything and everything. I think it's very in character for Pinkie to be excited about having a new set of blood relatives. Applejack plays up the strengths of the Apple family, which turns out to be an important scene as it sets up how the apples will play off one another for the rest of the episode. And when it turns out that the scroll is smudged and the result's unsure, they decide to visit extended family and confirm their newest relation. Applejack warns her kin to put on the best possible face for the Apple family. Naturally, she invokes the ancient demons of reverse psychology. And I'm really glad to have the chance to see the Apples as a less than perfect family. Not because I dislike them, I'm a big fan of all four members. And Brayburn, and Babs.
Apple fritter.
Yeah, sure.
Apple bumpkin.
Yeah.
Red gallop. Red delicious golden.
Why not?
Delicious, caramel apple. Apple
Yes,
strudel,
okay,
apple
will you just-
baked apples, apple brioche, apple cinnamon crisp.
Does anyone in your family take cold showers? Yet this show drew me in by presenting characters with both strengths and flaws. Perfection is boring. Getting to see the flaws in a family dynamic feels very realistic. And having the apples at odds gives us a chance to see sides of Granny Smith and Big Macintosh that we haven't seen before. Okay, it's not huge in emotional depth, but I'm glad for characterization wherever I can find it. It's true that Big Macintosh got mad in Ponyville Confidential, yet that was an extreme case in reaction to having his privacy violated. Here is a sense of annoyance at Applejack being overbearing. This episode also catches us up with the teaser shown at the San Diego Comic-Con. When I heard the song, I kept wondering why it sounded off. Then I realized no one was clapping.
We're apples forever, apples together, we're family but so much more.
And it's a fun song, a nice intro to the family for new fans, and a good beat for longtime viewers. I've listened to it a few times.
Now playing Apples to the Core for the 306th time.
The humor throughout the journey is pretty one note, at least on the Apple family's side. An apple screws up, the family almost quarrels in front of Pinkie, and forced smiles all around. The positive to each event is we see how each Apple family member's qualities serve as both a strength and a weakness. Yes, Big Mac is strong, yet that means he can underestimate the fragility of what's around him. Apple Bloom is fun and energetic, and sometimes that makes her clumsy. Granny has the experience and know-how of a long life, which makes it hard for her to admit that she may be ignorant or simply forgotten. And then there's Applejack. Up until now, her chief flaw has always been stubbornness. That's certainly on display here, yet I think it factors into a larger part of her character. Applejack is used to running the Apple family and taking the responsibility that comes with it. It's an admirable trait, yet occurs back on her as she has trouble letting go and keeps pointing out others' mistakes.
All you had to do was bring it to me. No singing, no dancing, no games. Just walk it over.
That's what makes these characters so enjoyable. Their strengths are linked to their weaknesses, so they can't just overcome their quirks in one episode. Now, what about Pinkie? In a way, she's a framing device to get the apples on this journey. That doesn't mean she doesn't get to shine in this episode as well. Some jokes I found very funny, others felt forced. And humor is so subjective that it's hard to offer hard and fast rules on what works. As some fellow fans pointed out, her freakout over Flutterbat doesn't match up with her giggle at the ghosties philosophy, and yet she's able to go through the scariest cave in Equestria without batting an eye. I admit, I can't give a reason for why some things freak her out and some things leave her unfazed. Generally, I just ask myself whether I find Pinkie's jokes funny or not. And usually I find that her funniest jokes are when she's interacting with her surroundings, albeit through her own unique perspective. She certainly seems upbeat after their long journey, and... wait, what is that? Is that a Slender pony? Seriously, a Slender reference in a little kid's cartoon? Okay, I'm gonna point to this the next time someone argues that this show isn't supposed to be viewed by... Huh. My ego is soaring, yet I feel strangely disappointed. Anyway, we're introduced to Golden Delicious, a crazy cat lady living in the middle of nowhere. Behold Rarity, what might have been. Though many have pointed out that she could be an older version of Pinkie. The Jenga stack, her curly mane, her interest in other ponies and remembering their lives, she is very much like Pinkie. So she might be a distant relative, or maybe there's one in every family. Heck if I know. It's here at the end that Pinkie Pie is at her best. No longer a joke factory, she helps the apples see how close they're bonded, because even after the worst family trip in history, they're still together. The theme carries forward as Applejack confirms that, blood ties or no, Pinkie Pie is as close to them as family. So as they ride back to provide a fresh journal entry, the apples know that the ties that bind can survive anything, from waterfalls to monster-filled caves to natural disagreements. And the weirdest thing about this episode? No teaser at the end. No shadow ponies who might be red herrings, no rainbow thread that might reappear in the future, no fangs that just leave the audience confused. In a season that's put a lot of emphasis on continuity, it was nice to watch a self-contained episode. It reminded me of why I got into this show in the first place. We got to flesh out the Apple family dynamic, and Pinkie enjoyed great moments of comedy and insight. Some of the humor began to run stale, but I think they ended the journey at just the right time. Though I doubt this story will come up again, I'd like to see a reversal if it does. Pinkie is in good with the apples, but how would an upbeat character like Applejack react to meeting a much more conservative family like the Pies? And hey, if we really want to make sure Pinkie Pie's an apple, there's always one solution.
Nope.
You know, I'm starting to think he doesn't like me randomly shipping him. Oh, no. You know what I want to hear. That's the stuff. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.